Five, four, three, two, one. Let's go. Good morning, Misfits. All right. So, we had, I appreciate that in the chat, Nora Kaoki. I watched my clips sometimes after the show, and yesterday I noticed my volume was way down. So if you give me a second, I just want to check something here. Oh no, that's way better. Clips sometimes. All right, I think we're in good levels. Yep. Okay. There we go. I just had to play it on my own phone so I could hear myself. I don't know why it was way down. I've been dealing with the company that makes this new mixer. You guys know that I was having issues with it and I still have issues with it where I can't have it charging and go live at the same time. So I remember yesterday, because I did the debate the night before, I forgot to plug it back in. So it was only charging for like a half hour. I must have accidentally moved some shit around, and we are good. We are now good. All right. So, Woke Wednesday. That is the new theme for Wednesday mornings. Okay. We got Hate Mail Thursdays. I guess Tuesday we'll just do just the news or whatever we decide. And I don't know what we want to do for Friday. Maybe like fuck it Friday. But Wednesday and Thursday we have a recurring theme. So what I'm gonna do is on Woke Wednesdays. Let's let's do this. I want to show you the thumbnail in case you didn't catch it. It's a banger, by the way. Like, I mean, I'm really good at thumbnails now. It's my new thing. Okay. Let's go here. All right, as you can see, we got me in the middle. Now we got Nick Fuentes and Zohran Mamadini. And what I'm gonna do is hopefully just change the two people to either side of me each week so we can highlight both sides of the woke shoe, as I call it, right? Because there's horseshoe theory, so I'm calling it the woke shoe. Um, and yeah, I look, we're gonna talk about the Tucker Carlson Nick Fuentes interview. We'll talk about Zoran, but mainly, we're gonna dive into what we already talk about so much. And I've noticed that there's a shift in you know, some reasonable people that I follow who are kind of falling for this psyop, which I believe it is a psyop, of letting the narrative that these people are pushing become normalized, which is, oh, this is free speech, right? We're just you shouldn't silence or censor. What they do is they weaponize your own support of the First Amendment against you. Okay, like basically, they know you are going to defend free speech because it means a lot to us. So they're claiming anybody that gives pushback to somebody like Nick Fuentes being on Tucker Carlson is being censored or silenced or canceled or punished, and it's not true, right? Like I think that Nick Fuentes should be on every show, right? I think that everyone should platform that fuck. I just don't think that they should do it the way they're doing it, which is clout chasing, sensationalist grifting off of his popularity. I think if you believe in what you say you believe, if some of the people out here had a fucking spine, they would invite Nick on his show and then just play his clips. They'd be like, did you actually say that you were going to take Charlie Kirk's baby TPUSA, fuck it, and destroy it? Because he did, right? Instead, what we got from Tucker Carlson was Nick Fuentes saying, I remember the person who tried to kill me came on December 18th because it's Stalin's birthday, and I'm a big fan of Joseph Stalin. And Tucker was like, oh, okay. we'll circle back to that, and then never circled back, right? So there's no pushback, there's no calling him out on what he said. It's a rebranding, either intentionally or unintentionally. They either don't want to hurt themselves because they're terrified of his mob of cancel culture fucking just scumbags, right? They might be afraid of that. So that's why I say unintentional or intentional, where it's more just fear from Nick's audience, or they know what they're doing and they're rebranding him on purpose because they want to use him for their own channels. Whether you like it or not, Nick does have an organic following and it is a large audience. So if you are a spineless coward grifter who only cares about themselves and not about America, not about what's good for America, not what's good for the party, you will platform him and you won't push back. You'd want him to be you'd want to be on his good side for that reason. So there's either fear of wanting to be on his good side because you're afraid of his audience, or there's fear of losing your own audience because some of them also like him. I don't have that problem. All right. I want to debate Nick. I've said I wanted to debate him. Nick, there's a couple of clips I'm going to play for you later. One of them where Nick is bitching about Charlie Kirk, calling him vermin and saying that you shouldn't talk to him. And then there's a clip of Nick Fuentes talking about me, where he says, don't talk to Misfit, ignore him. In a better world, me, I would be killed by the government, according to Nick Fuentes. So he's a piece of shit, right? And that's the bottom line. I don't want any harm to come to him. I'm not like the people that killed Charlie Kirk, celebrated his death. But I feel about Nick Fuentes the same way Tyler Robinson felt about Charlie Kirk. I think that internally, I think that he's a very disgusting fucking piece of shit who probably doesn't deserve to fucking be breathing. I will never hurt him. I will never call for anyone else to hurt him. In fact, I will say anybody that thinks that he should be hurt, right? Like, should, like, be violence against him is a piece of shit. But do I honestly think that some people are less worthy of fucking air? Yeah, yeah. I am against terrorists. I am always going to be anti terrorist. I think that Nick Fuentes is a stochastic terrorist. I think that he uses his voice in the same way Hitler used his voice to radicalize people to violence. Again, I do not think anyone should hurt him. Right? Do not hurt him. Do not call for him to be hurt. Do not call for him to die. Whether or not I believe he deserves that, that's different, right? Because I think that we have gotten to a place where we're so afraid to say what we actually think. And honestly, I think some of these people should be punched in the fucking head. I do. I think that if I was in front of them, I might do that because I'm not a good person all the time. I'm a very mean motherfucker when I believe somebody deserves something. But that's me. Don't do that. I am not a good example of how you should go about certain things. I slapped Bryson Gray. It was wrong. It was. I slapped Bryson Gray because he said something I didn't like. Right? Yeah. So don't do what I say, not what I do is my whole point. Anyway, let's move on to the daily breakdown and then we'll get into the fun stuff. All right. So if you've never seen the daily breakdown before, here's what we do. We go on the internet, we type in the word news, we talk about what pops up, we break it down, right? So every Tuesday through Friday, maybe Mondays. We still haven't done a Monday, by the way, but we might. Um, every weekday, essentially, we go on, type in the word news, break it down. Top three stories. They're in the show notes. ChatGPT gave us a very good summary for today's show as well. Yes, I use ChatGPT to summarize my shows. Get over it. But these three top headlines we'll talk about, and then we'll get into Woke Wednesday. All right. So, Hurricane Melissa, that bitch, she hits landfall in eastern Cuba after slamming Jamaica. All right. Let's see. This is what I was looking for yesterday, by the way. Right? I wanted to see if it did the swoop. If it did the swoop. You guys see my cursor here? I didn't know if it was going to do the swoop or if it was going to go over here. So it looks like it's going right? So up here, over the weekend, my fucking dickhead brother that I don't talk to anymore, he might get some bad weather up in Massachusetts, but it looks like everybody's pretty safe if it stays on this path. Okay. All right. And that's all we're going to talk about with that fucking story because it's weather and it's boring and gay. All right. Next up. What happened there? Next up, we got Comer unleashes on Biden, demands DOJ probe of AutoPen in new scathing report. This is pretty fucking scandalous, but at the same time, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I would not put too much weight in anything happening because they're not going to be able to prove that Joe Biden didn't approve these auto pens, right? Like he's gonna say he did it because then he'll be in trouble too. So he's just gonna say, "Yeah, no, yeah, come on, man." Like, no, I did. I said to pardon all those people. Like, how can you prove it? How can you prove he didn't? Right? Obviously, he didn't. Obviously, somebody in the administration was just willy nilly being president using an auto pen. One good thing that could come of this is it might lead to Congress passing a law where you can't use the auto pen for executive actions anymore, and I think that that's very reasonable. Why are you even fucking allowed to do that? Right? Literally, you can just say you staffer go over to that fucking machine that literally has a pen. I don't know if you guys know what the fucking auto pen actually looks like. Right? Here, let's go and show you. It's fucking wild. It's wild what this thing looks like. It's literally look it. This is it. It's literally a fucking machine with a pen. Like a lot of people probably think that it's like a stamp or something. No. It's an actual fucking machine that literally writes the fucking signature with a real pen. So, like, but yeah, sure, Biden or Trump or anybody can say, use the auto pen for these executive orders because I don't want to sign 50 fucking documents today. My hand will get tired. I don't want to. But also, right? Somebody could just go over to this machine and just be like, well, I'm going to pardon myself. And Biden might be like, what the fuck, dude? I don't remember doing that. Probably doesn't remember a lot. But this should not be in the fucking White House. No, this should be for like, I don't know, fucking some low level fucking tax fucking CPA where they're like, I got so many fucking things today. The wild is wild. No, get rid of that. As far as anybody getting arrested or fucking shit for it, I don't know. Maybe if they have proof, maybe you know how they could like come to charges on somebody is if they have like some type of correspondence between two other people where they're like, we're not going to tell Biden, but we're going to sign these. Like, I don't know. But as of right now, I think that they're just saying we think. But let's break it down anyway. Yeah, the auto pen is just for mass mailers. Somebody in the chat. U.S. Oversight Committee James Comer says is demanding the Department of Justice conduct a comprehensive investigation. The committee's GOP majority released a 100-page report. Faced with the cognitive decline of President Joe Biden, White House aides at the direction of the inner circle hid the truth about the former president's conditions. I guess that's the avenue they're going to go down. They're going to be like, oh, obviously he didn't know what he was signing because he didn't know who he fucking was half the time. That's thin to me anyway. The report also detailed haphazard documentation processes for pardons made by Biden, which the committee argued left room for doubt over whether or not the president even made those decisions. But if he says he did, there's nothing you can do. Like, and he already has. He's like, no, I signed all those. All right, I don't believe you, but there's a big difference between what you know and what you can prove. So, we have to go under the look. I understand, like, if you want something to happen, it's one thing, right? Like, I want this to happen, right? Acknowledging reality, though, is also very important, where it's like, I don't want to set a precedent where we start putting people in jail based on what we think. I think in this country, you have to prove it, right? You will have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Joe Biden did not approve certain things that was auto-penned in his name. And pretty much the only way to prove that is if Joe Biden comes out and says, I didn't fucking approve that. If that dickhead is towing the line and goes, yeah, even if he didn't, if he goes, yeah, then how you gonna prove it? But let's see. Let's see if maybe I got something wrong. Maybe there was something in this report that I'm missing. It was towards the end, said a portion of the Zients transcript included. What comes to mind is the family discussions. It was pardoned towards the very end, and I think it was a few meetings, not many meetings. All right, ex Biden chief of. You'll need a whistleblower, is what you'll need. Um, that Hunter Biden was in the room for some pardon discussions. All right. The president's son in the decision making process. That's fucking wild. Not shocking, just wild. The apparent meeting including the apparent this apparently included the meeting to discuss the pardons of 5 Biden family members. Fauci, Milley, members of Congress who served on the select subcommittee um, to investigate the January 6th attacks. None of the committee's 14 witnesses was willing to admit they ever had any concern about President Biden being in cognitive decline. Yeah, because they're in lockstep, dude. They know that anything that happens is going to get them in trouble. So I guess here's the deal. We'll see. I'll remain cautiously optimistic because, like I said, it's not about whether or not I want to see it. It's about whether or not based off of the evidence that we have, if I think that anything will come of it, right? It's like all these people that are like, Obama belongs in jail. Yes, agree with you. Yeah, can you prove it? No. No, he's not going to jail. So sometimes you just take the L. Sometimes you just go, we're not going to get this thing that we want. We're not going to get it. Move on. Focus on other shit. All right. So back to this. Trump says he's prepared to send more than National Guard into U.S. cities. This is from the New York Times, so we're not going to be able to read it. In a speech to American troops. Shut up. Oh, wait, maybe we can read it. Oh, shit, we can read it. Look at that. Sometimes it lets us read it, and sometimes it doesn't. Trump says he's prepared to send more than the National Guard into U.S. cities. In a speech to American troops assembled in Japan on Tuesday, President Trump said he would expand his orders if he decides it is appropriate. Okay. President Trump told the American troops that he was prepared to. All right, this is getting repetitive. Speaking to thousands of military service board Air Corps members, but throughout his nearly hour-long speech, his usual. All right, what's your name, hon? Erica Green, and Katie Rogers. Okay, we get it. We get it. You don't like Trump. This right here. His usual ramblings. You're fucking rambling right now with your fingers. about the physical appearances of audience members. He made a joke. Trump was like, you got a lot of good-looking people in here. I don't like good-looking people. He's a joke, dude. The left really truly can't meme. They are miserable cunts most of the time. It's fucking annoying, right? Like it's just annoying because I think I like funny shit. I like comedy. I like levity. I think a lot of people do. I think most people do. I don't think anybody's mad when they're happy, right? Nobody's ever like laughing while being pissed off. It's impossible. So when these people take a joke that Donald Trump said and they're miserable about it, I'm like, can you just fucking laugh a little? Can you fucking stop being miserable for 5 fucking minutes? We're gonna go over this tomorrow on the Hate Mail Thursday show. I got one guy who literally was just like, it's gonna be a fucking great day when you finally kill yourself. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. Right? But that means that every day I don't kill myself, you're upset? Shit. Sucks to be you. Like, dude, how miserable can you people be? And why does this person keep calling me from fucking WhatsApp? Stop calling me and tell me who you are. I'm literally gonna write that right now. Stop calling me and tell me who you are. I don't know who you are. It says this phone number is coming from Gambia. I don't even know where the fuck Gambia is. Where is Gambia? I get the weirdest shit. People hit me up all the time. So I can like, hey man, like it's a normal thing to go find my phone number and call my phone. It's not normal to do that, by the way. Gambia. It sounds like Africa. Where's Gambia? Come on. Gambia. That's definitely Africa looking. Yeah. Don't call me. You might be very nice. I don't know what you're calling about. I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, but don't call me. All right. Whatever. All right. It's fucking gonna try to sell me a fucking like oh, I just need you to send me some fucking money or something. Like or can you promote one of my posts probably? And it's like, "No. No. Go deal with all the fucking hate and bullshit that I have dealt with over the past fucking however many years. Get a whole bunch of death threats, get doxxed a bunch of times, build your fucking following to over 100,000, and then you don't need me to do that shit for you. You can do it yourself. Act like fucking all the shit I went through is just so I could fucking promote one of your posts. If I like you, I'll promote it. If I don't, I won't. Yes, he's got billions of dollars from a long lost king, and he just wants to send me some because he really appreciates my content, probably. All right. We got through that pretty quick, and I wanted to because I'm gonna fucking probably spend a few minutes on this. Should we start with Zoran? We should start with Zoran. Let's get Zoran out of the way.
Taking $7,000 per.
There's really not much I want to talk about with Zoran, but it was something about his aunt. Hold on. I need a new keyboard. This thing is way too small. All right. So, Zoran Mamdani said that his aunt was afraid to be on the subway after 9/11 because of her hijab, and obviously it's 2025. If you say something, some fucking nerd is gonna go look up whether or not it's true, and it wasn't. So then he changed it to it was his father's cousin. Or his father's girlfriend. I don't know. It's probably the same thing. Um, New York City mayoral candidate shared an anecdote during an October 25th speech about his aunt fearing subway rides. And then when fact checkers revealed his actual aunt lived in Tanzania. and did not wear a hijab. Mamdani clarified that it was his late father's second cousin, Zen Rafihi, who we referred to as his aunt, per South Asian and Muslim cultural norms and respect for elders. Okie dokie. So he lied and he got caught. That's pretty much what happened. This is his real aunt. And it's just schmarmy politician bullshit. But look, here's the thing: Zoran is most likely going to win, and at this point, I hope he does. I know that people are like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Him or Curtis Sliwa?" All right. What I do not hope for is more Cuomo. Um, I don't think it's gonna do anything. I think it's just gonna be more of the same, and the same is untenable. So, one of two things: New York needs radical change now, or it needs radical change after Zoran fucks up New York. There's no middle ground for me. I don't live there, so I don't have a right to say this. I say that all the time. It's like, don't take my opinion. I know there's so many people that live in New York that are like, no, you're crazy. I'm like, no, 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 I get your point. Trust me, your opinion matters more than mine, but hear my opinion and just allow me to make my case. Okay. You can move. I did, right? I lived in Massachusetts. Okay. I lived in a place where it was getting impossible to survive as a business owner. Okay. Like I did not want to leave Boston. It's my home. It's where my family was. I have it tattooed on my arm. Boston is my home. Okay. I am a Texan now. I have no plans to go back to Boston ever. Right. But it will always be my home, just like the song. But when I realized that there was not a future in the place that I had come to love, that I grew up in, because of the policies of its elected leaders, I made a choice. I left. I went to Texas. I am so much happier here. Like, look at my wall behind me. I wouldn't be able to have that or that or that or that one or that one. There's some over there as well. But all these things hanging on my walls, wouldn't be able to have those in Massachusetts. I do not like living in a place where my freedom is taken from me. Right? Sorry. It's like, well, you could fight for it. No, at a certain point, you kind of. It's like staying with somebody in a horrible relationship, right? Where you're like, oh well, we have 15 years together. What do you want me to do? Just leave? Yes, they beat you. Yes, leave. Right? Leave. You're still in America if you go to Texas, Florida, Tennessee. There's so many places that in America that are amazing. That's why we have these. That's why this is the greatest country in the world, right? If you don't like a place you live, you can still be an American. You can move 8 hours, 10 hours away, and you're way more American. You just feel more American. You can go wherever you want. So anybody that wants Zoran's policies should stay in New York. Anybody that doesn't want Zoran's policies should leave New York. You don't even have to leave the fucking state. You can literally just leave the city, by the way. You know that, right? But I think that the people that really don't want to fucking live there because of Zoran should move. I think that anybody that is gonna, and look, Sid Rosenberg's a friend of mine. There's Emily Austin's a friend of mine. These people are endorsing Cuomo. I think they're silly for doing it because he doesn't align with their political ideology. He's just the least bad candidate that they think can win. Right? They align more with Sliwa, but they're not going to vote for Sliwa. It's like that doesn't compute with me. I would never vote. If there are three people in a race, I'm voting for the one that most closely aligns with my policies. If there are two people in a race and neither of them align with my policy to a point where I can morally justify my voting for them, I just don't vote. That's how I would do that. But if Curtis Lee was in the race, you vote for Curtis Lee. That's how I think the system should work. But yeah, like I was saying, I think that Zohran Mamdani, he is the product of the left, not calling out their own side for years and years and years. And he is what happens when you allow this woke mind virus to take over your party, which is why we're spending so much time fighting our own side, the infighting, right? Calling out the woke right, the far right, the dissident right, the reactionary right. Doesn't matter what you call them. They are not part of the moderate GOP, Republican, conservative majority. They are extreme. I think that we can all agree on that, right? Nick Fuentes is extreme. Zoran Mamdani is extreme. These are two extremists. And one of them is the product of a culture on the left that didn't do what we're doing right now. This is a cautionary tale, right? The largest city in the world, or sorry, in the country, the largest city in the country is about to be run by this fucking socialist, right? He says that police and prisons don't make us safer. Here, let's listen to some of his rhetoric.
The source of that issue and then just throw them away. The way that prisons are set up in our society, I would argue that they do not work. They do not make us safer.
Oh, prison doesn't work. The
instinct is to just take that person, the source of that harm, the source of that issue, and then just throw them away. Put them in a cage and throw
keep them away from other people.
And that doesn't address the reason why that harm was created in the first place.
Don't care.
A lot of times, people who create trauma for others are those.
Care. Shut up. I don't give a fuck why people do bad things, right? I care about stopping them from doing more bad things. He wants to address the root cause of why criminals do crime. Well, probably you're going to find out that it's your leadership, right? Because crime is going to rise in New York when you take over. So there's your answer. You're the problem. Cool. And just look at statistics. I don't want this to happen. I'm telling you it's going to happen. Right? I definitely don't want it to happen. It's going to happen. Zoran's dad wrote a book, wrote this, not a book, 3 years after 9/11. We need to recognize a suicide bomber, first and foremost, as a category of soldier. Suicide bombing needs to be understood as a feature of modern political violence rather than a stigmatized mark of barbarism. Oh, the guy who raised Zoran, he wrote that. Wow. Did I just get shot by an AR-15? Feels like it. What is this? Don't know what that is. Yeah, I mean, this is just normal for politicians. Okay, so I think that we got the point, right? The point is that the reason Zoran is popular is because the left refused to call out the radicals in their own party. Now, we're going to get into Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is the current radical in our own party. And I'm not saying that he's going to be the mayor of New York or the mayor of fucking, I don't know, Red Town, whatever the fuck it is. But he's going to grow. His influence is going to grow. I don't think that, I'm not worried about Nick ever becoming a big figure. I really am not. I think that there are so many clips of him floating around, and I think that we are not the left. So I think that while this is, getting a little steam right now, it will end. But how many people is he going to take down with him? All right. How many people's reputations are going to be tainted? How many people is he going to infect? I think that Nick is a Trojan horse. And I think that there are so many people on the right that are like, just open the door, let him in, right? And I think a lot of it is what I mentioned earlier with the grifting sensationalist community, where they're just looking for their own platforms to be boosted by his appeal, right? But Nick is not the problem. The people that follow him are the problem. It's a cultural thing where Nick is a representation of the culture that we're in and how it has become so gross. All right. Not the real world, by the way. I said this, I made a post about this where I was like, the internet is like Walmart, dude. It's like, I don't know why. Like, the dregs of society congregate in Walmart, but they do, right? I don't know why they go there, but they do, right? There's a reason why there's a whole ass page called People of Walmart. Or Florida, right? Why is Florida the way Florida is? Okay? Like, full stop. Let's come in. Come watch right here. I lived in Florida for 2 fucking years. It is not America. Okay? It's not. It's a different country. Right? It's part of America, but that is not America. That is a weird fucking place, right? That is a place that has different fucking people. I can't explain it, but they're different, right? Not in a good way. It's Walmart, right? It's like, why do all these people go to Walmart? Why does Florida have a thing called Florida Man, right? Like, you could try to figure it out. You could be like, well, the weather and the culture, and like, you could try to, I don't care. Just like when Zoran Mamdani said, oh, wait, it doesn't address the issue of why. I don't care why. Am I the only person that doesn't care why? If I see something, I don't need to figure out exactly why. I just need to know that I can see it, right? It's like, why are you doing this to me? No, no, no. Me, it's, oh, you're doing something to me? Bang, 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 bang. Right? Like, fucking, I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit if you weren't hugged as a child. I don't care. So, the internet, social media in particular, X is becoming really just garbage. But you know, you got this. This has been going on for a while with places like Reddit and 4chan. I think that I could give you a good reason why. You know, anonymity. I call it window theory. People say the worst shit, and they feel protected because they're safe. There's no consequences that are going to happen. Mike Tyson said it best. You know, the internet's gotten people way too comfortable with saying shit without getting punched in the mouth. He's right. It's just like I said earlier. In real life, if Nick Fuentes said something to me that I see him say to his camera, I'd probably open hand slap him. Right? That's it though. Like, I wouldn't put him in the hospital or anything. I would just be like, ah, shut up. Fucking just because that's how I was raised, you know, like, I don't know. However, it's not necessarily important. The why is not necessarily important, right? The how to fix it is way more important. Okay. I've talked about the miso strategy, right? Mock, insult, shame, ostracize. That's a good temporary solution. That will keep them at bay. But long-term strategy is you got to change the culture. Like, we need to get back our youth. And I think the person that was doing the best job of that was Charlie Kirk. And they killed him. So now there's a power vacuum that people like Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson are trying to fill. We talked about this yesterday on the podcast. I'm not saying that this was some 5D chess plan and they were part of the assassination. Um, but I do believe that Tucker and Nick are both taking advantage of Charlie's death. I think that's obvious. Like, if I was to talk like Tucker, I think that's obvious. It's what I believe. I could say like Candace Owens, we don't know, but we know we know. You know, I can just make that I can make their argument where I see it. I see that they are behaving differently than they did when he was alive. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I think it's related. I think Nick is trying to rebrand himself, and I think that Tucker is helping him intentionally. Let me give you some of my circumstantial evidence, okay? Let's go through my page here. I'll show you what I was talking about yesterday. Okay. Just want to make sure I go back. Yeah. Yeah, here. Let's listen to what Nick used to sound like, okay?
My ideas are already there. Whether he chooses to confront me or not, whether he has dignity and honor or not, it's just a matter of time. My ideas are already there. I've already has dignity and honor or not, it's just a matter of time. My ideas are already there. I've already impregnated your organization. I took Turning Point USA and I fucked it.
Okay. We're going to keep playing this, but this was, I think, just a few months ago. Or maybe, yeah, I think this was just a few months ago. So this isn't Nick Fuentes circa 2017. Okay, this is Nick very recently. I think 2025. So Nick has not changed this drastically in just the past few months. And let's continue, because it gets worse. This is honestly kind of like, I was fuming when I was listening to this.
I took your organization, I took your baby, Turning Point USA, and I fucked it. And I've been fucking it. And that's why it's filled with groypers. That's why your whole crew, that's why the people around you, that's why your chapter presidents, that's why your attendees, they're all groypers. So whether you choose to confront me or not over the honor of your Turning Point USA, it's immaterial to me. I'd like it. I just get a sick satisfaction out of it.
He's not lying here. All right. When people tell you who they are, believe them. He is a sadist, right? He likes punishing other people. Every one of these cancel culture thought leaders, they are sadists. They love the fact that they have enough power. Like this Candace Owens is now doing this, right? When she never used to. They love the fact that they have enough power where if they aim at somebody, their followers will do the work for them, right? Like if Nick Fuentes attacks somebody, his followers attack. What I don't do that, right? I am the one who attacks. My followers don't attack for me. Right? I tell them not to. I tell you, I say, if I ever see you trying to cancel somebody in my name, you can fuck off, right? Nick likes the fact that he has a cult. Nick wants the cult to do all the work for him. He's a coward. He doesn't want to do this himself. He just likes to talk into a microphone and then people get flooded with ratios and fucking death threats and all sorts of shit, right? I've never once, ever, seen somebody like in my name, like, or follows me or supports me. I've never seen somebody going, "Hey, Misfit, one of your followers sent me a death threat." Because if they did, I would call them out, right? But there are a lot of people that are groypers, proud groypers, that have sent me death threats. We go through this every Thursday on Hate Mail Thursdays. So let's keep going, because this gets worse. He's gonna go after his wife. He's gonna get personal. He's going to show you who he is here. This is the real Nick Fuentes.
Because I like to win. But we're already there. And this whole ideology, Zionism plus free market, it's dead either way. You know it. I know it. Pretty much the whole world knows it's over.
Zionism has lasted 2,000 years.
In the last
You're not
7
killing
years,
it.
who's moved closer to who? Could anybody accuse me of stealing Charlie Kirk's ideas? No.
Yes.
Has Charlie Kirk every step of the way moved in degree closer to me?
Hold on. He's saying that nobody can accuse Nick of stealing Charlie Kirk's ideas right after saying he's going to steal Charlie Kirk's organization. All right, dude. Continue.
He tried to ape my bit, my ideas, my style. Oh, no question. No question. We already own you. We own you. We own Turning Point USA. We own this movement.
Do you see why the Tucker Carlson interview is that much more scary after seeing this clip? Like, we're going to keep going. We're going to play the last minute. But if Nick still believes what he was saying in this clip a few months ago, then he's trying to finish the job after Charlie Kirk is out of the way.
Whether you decide to have dignity about it and face me or not, that's up to you. That's something you'll have to tell your children. When Nick Fuentes became the future, when the Groypers took over the movement, did you take a valorant last stand? Were you courageous? Were you bold? Did you go down swinging, or did you go down like a bitch? Did you run and hide? That's the only thing when you're explaining that to your family.
Here it goes.
Mr. Family Man. When you're explaining to your wife, when she's saying, why won't you just debate Nick Fuentes? And you got to explain to her. When your kids grow up, why didn't you just confront Nick Fuentes? You got to explain to them why you were afraid, why you were a coward. That's the only difference. Immaterial to me. We already won. But anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to take...
That's Nick Fuentes. And this whole new rebranded version of Nick Fuentes, that's him trying to finish the job. So, that's fine. We'll get to that. All right, see, here's the clips from yesterday. Okay, so Dinesh D'Souza shared these texts, right? And fucking, of course, this cunt is like, oh, look at, why are you? This is see, when I go after somebody, pay attention, right? Tim Pool's a cunt. I just realized it recently. Right, like, and if you guys haven't realized it yet, people have realized it before me, and more people will realize it after me. But this is a sensationalist cunt who is exactly who I was talking about earlier. He is not afraid of Nick Fuentes' audience canceling him if he doesn't platform Nick Fuentes. No, no, no. Tim likes the fact that Nick Fuentes has that audience, and he wants that audience. He does not give a fuck about the fact that that audience is a very problematic movement that is growing. He wants to help it grow. Tim Pool wants to help Nick Fuentes' audience grow because Tim Pool wants his audience to grow. Right? So, fuck Tim Pool. Right? This dude, you bald, meth-mouthed cunt. But anyway, Dinesh posted these text exchanges with Charlie Kirk, right? And it was, he posted, he said, I have text messages where Charlie Kirk told me that not to debate Nick Fuentes. And then all the Groypers went after Dinesh, and they were like, you're a fucking liar. You're a lying bitch. Post the receipts. Post the receipts. And Dinesh did. I don't like this culture, so I do agree with Tim a little bit. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think in this scenario, this was kind of necessary. And don't forget what Charlie Kirk's last post was, right? The last post that Charlie Kirk ever made while he was alive was, we absolutely need to politicize the death of Irina Zarutsky if we want to make change. So Dinesh is doing something that Charlie approved of. Politicizing somebody's death to make change is perfectly fine. I think that I don't like seeing that a bunch of people are posting his text messages, but would I have done it? I don't know. Maybe. But here it is. Charlie Kirk. This is after Dinesh was in that debate on Alex Jones' show with Nick Fuentes, right? Charlie to Dinesh. This was a massive mistake that you just did this. Nick, is vermin, and you just gave him one of the biggest boosts of his career. We have been fighting. You have no idea the damage you did by talking to him and complimenting him. You are making him even bigger. We have been fighting this guy for 6 years, and you are the first mainstream voice to debate him and give him a compliment. This was the mistake that Dinesh made, right? Miso strategy. Mock, insult, shame, ostracize. That's it. No, there's no C. There's no miso C. There's no mixo. No C. C, no. C, no. No C. No compliments, right? Steven Crowder just made this mistake with Dave Smith. Steven Crowder was like, he crushed him on the facts. But then he was also like, but I also think that you're a really good guy, you know? And by the way, it's a bad example because Dave Smith, honestly, he's not the devil. Fucking idiot. Sure. I think he believes what he's saying, though, and I can respect that. But yeah, Dave Smith's a cunt. He's definitely a clout-chasing, sensationalist cunt. But he also, I think, might actually believe in what he's saying. So like, I can't be as mad at ignorant as I can at like people like Tucker Carlson who know they're lying. Anyway, Dinesh's response was, I'm getting a ton of this, and he should have put this part in quotes because it confused retarded people. But he's saying, I'm getting responses like this. As a younger guy myself, it's amazing to hear from your experience. Very good points. He was saying, like, people are messaging me stuff like this. But yeah, that's all he dropped to prove that Charlie Kirk really did not want people talking to Nick Fuentes. Right? So Tucker Carlson now talking to Nick Fuentes is against what Charlie Kirk. And by the way, this debate was only a couple months ago. So Charlie Kirk believed this a couple of months ago. Nick is vermin. Don't give him any attention. And Nick agrees with him. Because killed by the government. Wonder if that'll do it. Yes.
He deserves endlessly. Like he is the human equivalent of a toilet, of a...
Hold on. This is,
what he
by the way, I should probably
endlessly.
put this into context. This is Nick Fuentes talking about me.
Like he is the human equivalent of a toilet, of a garbage can, of a sewer. In a better society, he would be killed by the government because that's what he deserves endlessly.
That's me he's talking about.
Like he is the human.
But right before he said that, he also said that that you shouldn't talk to me. I wonder if I got that clip. No. I doubt I'll find it really quick, but let's see, just in case. I do talk about him quite a bit. All right. Yeah, I'll find the clip later, but Nick Fuentes said, ignore Misfit, don't talk to Misfit. Like I'm not going to debate him or blah, 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 because is this it?
He had a lot to say about you in the Grow Wipers.
Here it is.
Another retard deployed like Dillian, Barry, but will never debate you. Always with the drive-by shots. They're trying really hard to get that woke right to stick. No one's buying it.
That guy is so stupid. He does not deserve the time of day. You can see it on his face what an idiot he is. Like you could just see by the way that he looks, the look in his eyes, that he is just, there's nobody home there. Lights on, nobody's home. So, I mean, that guy just won't, he doesn't even deserve the dignity of being addressed. Like that guy is a dog in the street. He's just like a gutter sucking.
All right. So Charlie Kirk says that Nick Fuentes doesn't deserve the dignity of being addressed. And Nick Fuentes says, I don't deserve the dignity of being addressed. So Nick Fuentes' reaction to Charlie Kirk saying that is that's anti-free speech. So is Nick saying that he's also anti-free speech for not wanting to debate me? Because I'm happy to debate you, Nicky boy, but you blocked me because you're a bitch. Yeah. So let's continue.
Retard. I think everybody should just ignore him, honestly. I don't know why.
I think everybody should just, you know what? I agree with you, right? Nick, if you don't want to debate me, I agree you shouldn't, right? If you are so afraid of me and my ideas, and you know that if we ever got face to face on a camera, I would fucking body you, right? I would embarrass the fuck out of you. I would bring up everything that you've ever said, and I would fucking pin you down on it. Like Jake Shields on a dirty couch, right? I would fucking own you in a debate. And if you think that I am so dangerous to your movement that you shouldn't talk to me, I don't think you should. And Charlie felt that way about you. Welcome to the fucking hypocrisy parade, cunt. You got the biggest float. All right, let's go into some more. Okay, this is again Tucker Carlson talking to Nick Fuentes about Joseph Stalin. Okay, let's see. Let's see Tucker's reaction, because Tucker is not a big fan of Joseph Stalin. I'll show you a quote or a clip after.
So it was like late December. It's actually funny. It was December 18th. I remember because that's an important date to me. And it's Joseph Stalin's birthday.
Oh.
I'm a fan.
You're a fan of Stalin's.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his face. He's like, I'm a fan of Joseph Stalin. Wow.
Oh, I was an admirer, but we don't need to go into that. I guess. Like,
well, that's okay. Let's get back. We'll circle back to that.
It was weird because the reason I mentioned that.
Circle back to that. Right? Look at Tucker, narrator. But Tucker, Nick, his producers, and even the people watching all knew that they would in fact not circle back to that. And they didn't. Tucker was like, dude, I'm trying to fucking rebrand you right now. Are you out of your mind? You like Joseph Stalin? Wait, I'm trying to get you into TPUSA so you can destroy it. Fucking Stalin, bro. And he aired it, too. That's not a live show. Tucker left it in. All right. The alarm has just gone off. You know what that means. That means it is 8 a.m. Central Time, and we are about to cut off the YouTube stream and the X live stream. So, if you want to keep watching the show, right, it's always backwards, right here, right, rumble.com/TMP uncensored. You can click the link in the bio, or just go find the fucking page, right? But we're going to be only on Rumble for the rest of the show. We usually go a half hour, 45 minutes after the 1 hour mark. So you guys can still get some more show. And also, if you are on Rumble, you will get a shout out in the chat if you are a Rumble user at the end. So head over there. And we are going to be cutting you off in 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.